In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to catch errors in JavaScript using the try-catch blocks. So sometimes in your code, you might come across situations where the code does something unexpected, like data from an API or even code from another library. So in this tutorial, we're going to look at how to handle those types of errors, and then we'll go through a common example so that you can start using this pattern when you're writing your code. So if you haven't come across the try and catch blocks in other programming languages, or if you're completely new to JavaScript, we can essentially put code inside of the try block that might be potentially unsafe, and we want to test to see if it does anything unexpected. And if an error does occur, JavaScript will pass control to the catch block. And the actual error itself is passed to the catch block. So depending on what that error is that JavaScript's caught, we can do something different based on the value that's supplied in the error. So that's a basic principle. Let's have a look at a proper example. So let's say you have a function that is passed some JSON data, and all this function does is just parse it into a JavaScript object and then returns it. So this works fine if we actually pass it a JSON string. But if we pass something to the getData function that is a random string and isn't JSON data, but we never actually get returned any value from that function. So this is where our try-catch block comes in, because we can actually catch that error when the JSON.parse function fails, and then gracefully return a default value, such as a blank object. So here we're just declaring the parse data variable outside of the try-catch blocks, so that the variable is scoped globally to the getData function, and you can see we've wrapped the JSON.parse function inside of our try block. So this time when we pass in some bad data, the error will be caught and the parse data variable will be set to a blank object, which we should then see returned from the getData function, as the rest of the code will be allowed to continue, whereas before when the error was raised, everything stopped. So let's pass in a bad JSON string to test that out. And you can see the result is a blank object, and we don't get any errors in our console because it was caught inside of the getData function. And let's just try it with the JSON string as well to see if that still works. Which you can see successfully parses and returns the JavaScript object. Of course, we could return details of the error that occurred inside of the getData function. For example, we could return the details of the error inside of an object, so we could test whether the call to the getData function was successful or not. So hopefully that's given you a quick overview of how to catch errors in JavaScript, so you can start using those try-catch blocks anywhere where you think your code could do anything unexpected.